તો ઉલ્લેખનીય છે કે નાણામંત્રી અરુણ જેટલી જેમની તબિયત સ્વસ્થ નથી તેના કારણે પિયુષ ગોયલ આ બજેટ આજે રજૂ કરવાના છે.
Yes, Minister. After this, not now. Yes, Minister.
मैडम स्पीकर, मैं वर्ष 2019-20 के लिए भारत सरकार की अनुमानित प्रक्रिया और व्यय का वितरण प्रस्तुत करने के लिए आपसे अनुमति लेती हूं. Madam Speaker, I rise to present the interim budget for the year 2019-2020.
Yes.
Part A. I am deeply conscious of the absence of Shri Arun Jaitley today. I am sure the House joins me in wishing Shri Jaitley speedy recovery, good health, and a long life in the service of the nation. Madam Speaker, the people of India gave a strong mandate to our government. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, we have given the most decisive, stable and clean government and have undertaken transformational structural reforms. We have reversed the policy paralysis engulfing the nation and have restored the image of the country. इस सरकार की उपलब्धि रही कि हमने सोच को बदलने के अथक प्रयास करे और देश के आत्मविश्वास को बढ़ाया. I can proudly say that India is solidly back on track and marching towards growth and prosperity. We have prepared the foundation for sustainable growth, progress, and better quality of life for all our people. We are moving towards realizing a new India by 2022, when we celebrate 75 years of independence. An India which is clean and healthy, where everybody would have a house with universal access to toilets, water, electricity, where farmers' income would have doubled. Youth and women would get ample opportunity to fulfill their dreams. An India free from terrorism, communalism, casteism, corruption, and nepotism. State of the economy. Madam Speaker, the last 5 years have seen India being universally recognized as a bright spot of the global economy. The country witnessed its best phase of macroeconomic stability during this period. We are the fastest growing major economy in the world today, with an average GDP growth higher during the last 5 years, higher than the growth achieved by any government since economic reforms began. From being the 11th largest economy in the world in 2013-14, we are today the 6th largest in the world. Besides generating high growth rate, we contained double-digit inflation and restored fiscal balance. Inflation is a hidden tax and an unfair tax on the poor and the middle class. The average rate of inflation during 2009-2014 was a back-breaking 10.1%. The then Prime Minister admitted as much when he said, and I quote, "We have also not been as successful in controlling persistent inflation as we would have wished. This is primarily because food inflation has increased," unquote. इसके विपरीत हमारी सरकार ने कमर तोड़ महंगाई की कमर ही तोड़ दी। We brought down average inflation to 4.6%, which is lower than the inflation during the tenure of any other government. In fact, inflation in December 2018, महंगाई दिसंबर 2018 में सिर्फ 2.19% पर घटकर आ गई। If we had not controlled inflation, our families would have been spending 35 to 40% more today on basic necessities such as food, travel, consumer durables, housing. आप कल्पना करिए 35-40% अधिक खर्चा होता हर परिवार का अगर हमने इस महंगाई पे लगाम नहीं लगाई होती। From the high of almost 6% 7 years ago, the fiscal deficit has been brought down to 3.4% in the revised estimate of 2018-19. The current account deficit, against a high of 5.6% 6 years ago, is likely to be only 2.5% of GDP this year. We contained the fiscal deficit, notwithstanding the Finance Commission's recommendations, increasing the share of the states from 32% to 42% in central taxes, which we accepted in the true spirit of cooperative federalism, thereby transferring significantly higher amounts to the states. Due to a stable and predictable regulatory regime, a growing economy, and strong fundamentals, India could attract massive amount of foreign direct investment during the last 5 years. As much as $239 billion was received as FDI. This period also witnessed a rapid liberalization of the FDI policy, allowing most FDI to come through the automatic route. Madam Speaker, the last 5 years have witnessed a wave of next generation structural reforms which have set the stage for decades of high growth. We have undertaken path-breaking structural reforms by introducing the goods and services tax and other taxation reforms. Banking reforms and insolvency and bankruptcy code. The period of 2008 to 14 will be remembered as a period of aggressive credit growth, and as per RBI, the primary reason for a spurt in non-performing loans and stressed assets. Outstanding loans of public sector banks ballooned from 18 lakh crore to 52 lakh crore during this period. Many projects were started that could either not be completed or had low capacity utilization, resulting in their inability to pay back these loans. They were high stressed and non-performing assets amounting to rupees 5.4 lakh crore in 2014, even though they were not being recognized as NPA at that point of time. Many more were hidden through restructuring or otherwise, which were discovered during the asset quality reviews and inspections carried out since 2015. हमारे सरकार में ये दम था कि हम रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया को कहें कि ये सभी लोन्स को देखें और बैंकों की सही स्थिति देश के सामने रखें। We put a stop to such questionable practices and stopped the culture of phone banking. The 4 R's approach of recognition, resolution, recapitalization and reforms have been followed. A number of measures have been implemented to ensure clean banking. Through a transparent and accountable process, we recognize these NPAs. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code has institutionalized a resolution-friendly mechanism which is helping in recovery of non-performing loans, while preserving the underlying businesses and jobs. पहले सिर्फ छोटे बिजनेसमैन पर ऋण वापस करने का दबाव रहता था और अब बड़े बिजनेसमैन को भी ऋण की चिंता होती है, केवल बैंक को नहीं होती. But now defaulting managements are either paying or exiting their businesses. An amount of close to 3 lakh crores has already been recovered in favor of banks and creditors. To restore the health of public sector banks, recapitalization has been done with an investment of 2.6 lakh crore rupees. Amalgamation of banks has also been done to reap the benefits of economies of scale, improved access to capital, and to cover a larger geographical spread. हाल ही में कल हम सबको खुशखबरी मिली कि इन सब अथक प्रयासों के कारण 3 बैंक, बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, बैंक ऑफ महाराष्ट्र एंड ओरिएंटल बैंक ऑफ कॉमर्स, इन तीनों से पीसीए की रिस्ट्रिक्शंस भी अब हटा दी गई हैं. और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है जिस गति से बैंकिंग में सुधार हुआ है, बाकी सब बैंक्स भी बहुत तेज गति से इस व्यवस्था से निकल के फिर एक बार जोर से तेजी से बैंकिंग व्यवस्था में आ जाएंगे. Steps against corruption. We have ushered in a new era of transparency. हमने भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त सरकार चलाई. The Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016, RERA, and Benami Transaction Prohibition Act are helping to bring transparency in the real estate sector. The Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018 will help confiscate and dispose of the assets of economic offenders who escape the jurisdiction of the laws in India. Additionally, we conducted transparent auction of natural resources, including coal and spectrum. We have walked the talk. Swachhata